All right, babe. So this evening, we are going to talk about something no one wants to admit, but everyone is guilty of. We're talking about fucking faking it. And no, I'm not talking about fake it till you make it. I'm talking about orgasms, connection, or pretending your sex life is fine when it's fucking falling flat with that wop wop vibe. You know what I'm talking about. And we all know, right? So we're calling BS to all that shit today, all right? And not to mention, we're not doing it alone because we have
Justin.
Why is he so awkward?
Fiancé.
Yes, my lovely fiance who's super sassy and classy all in one.
That's why we vibe so well.
That's why we vibe. Girlfriend, buckle up. I'm just kidding.
Welcome to the carnival. I'm the ringleader now. Won't hear a sound at all as I bury you 6 feet underground.
Did you know when you type on ChatGPT, by the way, it loves to tell you to buckle up? Like, I don't know if it has PTSD, but I'm pretty sure it has fucking issues.
It's had a few people fall off. Yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't buckle up. He's buckle up. You tell it over and over again. Stop fucking telling us to buckle up. Still does it. Do you buckle up now?
Every time I buckle up, I think about it. But anyway, look who's being awkward. So how many times a week do you want to have sex?
He can't. How many times a week? What?
How many times a week do you want to have sex?
I mean, it depends, right?
Yeah, that's a kind of a bullshit answer, though.
Yeah. Sometimes I want to have sex like, I don't know, a couple times a day. And sometimes I'm like, whoa, bro, put that shit away.
Yeah. Or you just want to do it alone?
Okay. Serious talk, guys. All right. Serious face. Let's talk about faking it. Justin, how often in the past have you dealt with faking it, bitches?
Like faking an orgasm?
Yes. We already made that clear that that's what we were talking about was faking orgasms.
I was wondering where we were starting if we're talking about like orgasms.
He didn't understand the assignment.
There's like 3 assignments, so which one are we starting with? Orgasms? Okay.
This is all we're talking about is orgasms.
I've never faked an orgasm. I mean,
you've never faked it? This isn't like
it's kind of hard to fake it.
It's not a guy thing. It's a girl thing.
Well, you asked me if I've faked it, right?
No, I've asked you the opposite. Have you ever had a girl fake it and you caught it? Or are you living in that delusional world where you think you've made every girl come? I'll tell you right now, no man has ever made every girl come. I don't care who you are.
I don't think I've ever had a woman try to fake an orgasm with me. But I mean, that's not saying that orgasms have happened every time, but you're just like, oh, we're getting tired. It's not going to happen. I mean, that's happened before.
Although I will say, ladies, he is good at that. So,
I mean, I think it's kind of hard for a woman to forget it or fake an orgasm too. I mean, you could.
Oh no, we can fake it. We can fake it.
I mean, but it's assuming the guy knows what to look for. It's kind of.
But do you hear this, ladies? He doesn't think that women can really fake it. We all know. We all know the truth, right? Did you know?
You'd be like, but if your pussy's not squeezing me, you're not doing any kind of shaking or anything. It was like, okay, what?
The vibe.
What vibe?
No, I'm agreeing with you. Like, there's a vibe, right?
Yeah, there's a whole physical process. I've always heard that women fake orgasms all the time. That's what I've heard. So,
but you've never experienced it yourself?
I mean, it's possible. Maybe they're a good actress, or.
Then you find out they're on Broadway.
I've been more of a let them orgasm first guy, so. Or they'll just tell me like, "Oh no, I'm tired."
Why do you think that women fake orgasms?
I just assume they want to get the fuck away from the dude.
Good God.
Like there's like, okay, this is a mistake. I'm gonna leave now. Or if they're, I guess, in a relationship, they're trying to pretend that they're happy, maybe.
So a lot of times why women tend to fake it, well, there are different factors. So sometimes, yes, we're like, let's just fake it because this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing and I've got shit to do. So they just give up, right? I'm a needy bitch. So you're going to sit there and you're going to work your ass off until I am pleasured, right? But when women don't have that sense of who they are and don't actually respect who they are, they actually feel uncomfortable making a man work hard to make them come. Now, it could be a lot of things. It could be the vulnerability aspect where they have to actually use their fucking words and say, hey, you don't know what you're doing down there. Let's try again. You know, you're like, and they can't be direct. Like, how many of you have issues being direct? I guarantee you, most of you are like, yeah, you're doing a great job. Instead of just telling the man, or you're thinking about what do you have to make for dinner while he's going down on you. It's a thing. It's a thing. Because you're like, I've got shit to do. You obviously don't know what you're doing, but I don't want to say something because it's going to open a whole other can of worms, and you don't want to sit in the discomfort.
You'd also be surprised at how many guys just don't have the experience. Or they're not the nerdy types that do research beforehand.
But that's the thing, right? That's the thing, right? So
it's a lot harder for a guy to get laid than a girl to get laid.
So when guys don't know what they're doing, an emotionally unavailable man isn't going to fucking tell you he doesn't know what he's doing. He's just going to say, suck my dick. Let me hit it from behind. He doesn't actually tell you, right? Because he's not equipped emotionally to be able to take in that he needs to actually change what he's doing because he doesn't know what he's doing with your fucking clit. And I know you guys are all like, ooh, really uncomfortable. Oh my God, I don't give a fuck. Because the fact of the matter is that nobody likes to talk about pleasure, but we all fucking need it. And then you're sitting there and you're like, I don't need sex. I don't need orgasms. I'm fine with it if my man doesn't want to have sex. No, the fuck you're not.
Well, sometimes I don't always need an orgasm.
Let me tell you guys.
I'm just saying.
Let me tell you.
Sometimes we get tired.
Let me tell you about when we first met, okay? I'm going to put him on blast for a second here. When we first met, this man was like, actually, I don't like sex a lot. Actually, I like to, you know.
I say I don't like sex a lot.
He said he doesn't like sex.
Well,
he said he likes to cuddle.
The story wrong.
Okay, you tell the story.
Because we were kind of having an argument. I said, well, maybe I'm just not as sexual as you, or maybe I'm not feeling sexual at the moment. I didn't say I don't like sex, but I definitely thought we were going too fast at the start. So, and I had my phase where I just slept around. I don't want that anymore. So I wanted a connection, essentially, right?
So again, another man that doesn't know how to just be direct, right? But we all do it. Like, I can't be direct either. I struggle with it sometimes where, we beat around the bush. We're like, figuratively and physically. we do, though. We beat around the bush because we're like, ooh, thank you, babe. Thank you. A little TMI for our listeners, but thank you. But we do. We beat around the bush because it's very uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable, especially when you don't have a strong sense of self or even have that confidence in the relationship yet, right? Because it could be a confident person, but they don't have the confidence in the relationship to be able to speak what they really need and what they don't need, right? So where he was sitting there and saying, I like hiking more, playing bowling. I'm just not really as sexual as I used to be. And I was like, I call bullshit. And I said that to him. And he was like, no, I really don't. It was like, that was our first fight, guys, where we were just back and forth. And I was like, fuck you. You love sex. All men do, right? And he's like, no.
You're like, get in this fucking box.
I didn't tell him to get in a box. So we're clear. So we're right. I did. I wanted him to follow suit, basically. But part of the issue was that the communication was not there. Now, when you actually communicate, babe, what is your favorite thing when we're having sex with me communicating? What do you always tell me?
Oh, like, tell me what you like. Tell me where you want it.
Right. So he asks me, tell me what you like. Tell me where you want it. I want you to describe to me, and being able to express, actually, that's not working for me, or I need you to move this way or do this, is fucking huge, because we're so scared of doing it. Because, oh my God, like, what if they reject me? Like, this is your fucking body, and you're so worried about being alone that you're scared to tell somebody you're actually having your tongue in the entirely wrong spot. Why? Because we'll be shamed. Heaven forbid we'll be shamed. You're already having sex with them. Like, don't sit there and be, oh, well, I can't. What will he think of me? Oh my God. Like, stop. We all shame ourselves. We all fucking do it. And the sexiest thing is when you can actually talk to your partner and say, I need you to do this in this way, and you can do it anywhere. Like where, babe?
Yeah. It's actually really sexy when you say what you want. Actually take charge just a little bit. I mean, it also takes a lot of weight off me too, right? Where it's like, you want to help me out in this situation?
Right,
It's not a
right.
one-man show. It's like, okay, I guess I'll pull out one of my tricks I learned back then and see if she likes, as opposed to you just telling me what you want. So, I mean, it's after a while you start to wonder if, like, is this working? If you don't say anything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and there's this fear, right? That what will they think of me? Like, you're sitting in the car. Why can't you just say, I want to have sex right now? You're on the highway. You're literally in another state. You are in the mountains. Why can't you get out of your comfort zone? Because it feels uncomfortable to be uncomfortable. But the whole purpose is to be comfortable in the discomfort so that you can have meaningful, intimate sex. Because when I first met him, I was like, okay, he's a computer nerd white boy. I was like, what can he do? I've dated drug dealers, the fuck? That's what I'm thinking, right? And then I had to be like, okay, actually, Angela, that hasn't been working out for you. So could it potentially be because he may know what to say, the bad boy. He may know what to say to get you grooving and get you moving. But guess what? There's no fucking connection. And so then you're trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho, trying to save this guy that has no intentions of having anything serious with you. And then you end up doing what? You end up eating Ben and Jerry's or going and drinking out with your friends, taking shots because you're like, fuck it, I don't need a man. Why are you fucking crying?
Basically.
Right. You're going between going blacked out drunk to like super emotional. And then you're like alone and you're like, I don't understand. Guys are just stupid, right? We blame everybody and everything.
Stop fucking stupid dudes. That's it.
Else, right? So if you're a dude, that's what you say. What do you say?
What did I say? I said, stop fucking stupid guys, stupid dudes.
You say stop fucking stupid dudes.
Dude?
Right.
Oh.
I mean, it is true. It is true. But it's not that they're stupid, right? They never once tell you, like, I want to have a family with you. Let's get serious. right? I'm looking for a committed relationship. No, they say, you a fine piece of ass, baby. What's up?
And you're like, oh, swoon.
Right. Oh, swoon. Oh, you know how I like to drop it low, girl? Okay, let's go, baby. Right? But you don't even fucking know what the fuck's going on. You're like, I don't understand why there's no emotional connection. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm not trying hard enough. I need to understand him better. I need to do that. And then guess what? Your sex is fucking shit. Except for the times that maybe he's drunk and he's like, yeah, let's go, babe. Yeah, no. But you have no emotional connection. Because the thing is that when you have real connections and are able to communicate and understand each other's body, we just assume that men know where to touch us and how to touch us. And because they don't know, we're like, you are not my type. You don't send the fire. You don't make me hot and bothered.
Women think that men are just machines. Like, we don't need foreplay, time to get ready. It's just like, flip a switch, ready to go.
I mean, sometimes they are.
I mean, yeah, they
Let's
can be. I'm
honest,
saying
ladies.
that, well, I mean, sometimes you're like that where it's like, oh, boom, on. But sometimes like, okay,
It's true.
let's take a little bit, you know?
Well, and it's not that just that. What I mean is that sometimes we just go in this state of like, we want that bad boy because they know how to connect with you immediately. And what do? We want that quick fix, right? We want that instant release. Hence why, I mean, shit, my fucking program, I would make a shit ton of money if people actually knew how important it was, right? But it scares them.
Right.
It terrifies the shit out of them. Oh, actually, this is my favorite. Actually, I need to actually work on me first.
As opposed to letting your lower brain just take over, like your biology.
Well, no, that's what they
Yeah.
do is let their lower brain
That's
take
what I'm
over.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm explaining about
Oh.
that. It's like he's like, you want that
Why is
quick
he
fix?
yelling at me?
You want that quick fix? Like, yeah, because you're
Yeah.
thinking it through. It's just your lizard brain. We're gonna make a baby, essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's what it really is. On a biological.
I don't know
level, so-
what this guy's. Do you see what I'm talking about? He's definitely not a gangster
gotta
type,
slow-
that's for sure.
You gotta slow down. Before you move topics, ask me. That's why it doesn't make sense. I was waiting to say something.
Well, I was trying to finish. Anyway, guys.
Right.
Anyway, what I was trying to say is that the good ones, a lot of times the good relationships are the ones where they actually, it takes time. It takes time to get to know that person. It's not an instant fix. Yeah, that fucking guy that's really smooth with his words and really knows what to say. Yeah, great sex, right? The first time, few times. But guess what? It gets boring as fuck. And it gets even more boring when you actually work on yourself. The difference is that when you have to work at something, which is what I was trying to fucking say, when you have to actually work on something and you have to build it, it's very uncomfortable. And we don't want to do that because then we actually have to be vulnerable. And for all you ladies that are like, oh my God, vulnerable, that makes me so ick, right? I know, because I used to be that person. Excuse me, that makes me uncomfortable. Don't talk about vulnerability because I'm a hard-ass, badass bitch, right? How's that working out for you? How are those relationships working out for you? How well are you communicating with your kids, significant other, even at your job? My job is so fucking annoying. It's so stupid. The fuck are you doing about it? Are you actually taking accountability? Are you actually doing something? Or are you just bitching about it and doing the same fucking thing and expecting a different result? Definition of insanity. Just saying. But when you do actually say what you want, then even those relationships that would be per se boring, right, in your mind, it's just that you have to get out of your comfort zone. I have had my best orgasms with this guy right here. And yeah, we bicker. Yeah, we fight. That's the beauty of it, though. Like, nobody's fucking perfect, and nobody's gonna, oh my God, we're so. And if they're doing that, they're fucking editing the shit out of it, and they're super fucking boring. It's about that real, raw shit where you're gonna have arguments, you're gonna have miscommunications, but you fucking work on it and you talk about it, right? That is where that sexual, intimate bond comes in, where you can actually have those orgasms that you've always wanted and desired and been too afraid to actually admit. Oh, I just orgasm. No, the fuck you didn't. No, the fuck you didn't. Have you had that orgasm where you really feel like you're having a fucking seizure? I have. And you're like, oh God. And then you're like, don't touch me. I can't move. Nobody touch me. I don't care. That is a fucking orgasm. But it's a learned behavior, for the record. What are your thoughts?
Which part?
Any of it.
Any of it?
Just
No.
run free. He's a very structured and organized guy. He's like one thing at a time, and I'm very not. So I got to kind of get him out of his comfort zone sometimes and be like, just talk. Go ahead.
So
Just run free with it, babe.
I'm not sure what part to say now.
What do you think about it? What do you think about,
Ask me a question.
well, what do you think about somebody actually communicating with you what they desire instead of just expecting you to know?
Well, if they actually communicate it, I mean, it feels like a team effort in a way. It feels like, I mean, it's a funny
High
way to
five.
put it. Like, but it's like, it's a mutual connection. It's not just, oh, she's just laying there because she thinks that I need to get my rocks off. Otherwise, I'm not going to love her. I'm not going to stay or something like that. I want it to feel like, oh, the desire needs to be both ways. That's a huge, huge deal. If it just feels like if it feels transactional, it's like, okay, it's kind of it kind of becomes a turnoff. I mean, I know a lot of guys say, like, oh yeah, I just want sex, I want to get my rocks off. But I mean, usually or actually I think women too, that's how you judge or it's like kind of like a gauge of your relationship. Like if the sex is either any good or how much there is, that kind of thing. So if you go for a long time without having sex, I think both partners start to worry that something's going wrong. Like that spark is gone, as they like to say, kind of thing. But again, it could go back to like, more than likely or not, if people aren't having sex, if they're turned off, it's not necessarily the sex itself, right? It's
Right.
some stupid argument on the side about not feeling respected, or
Right.
some argument about the past, or
It's
something
the
like that.
intimacy is gone, the lack of motivation, because I think a lot of people, okay, well, I already know them, and they just stop there. And we are constantly evolving. You cannot sit there and be like, well, I learned that checklist, new challenge. Like, challenge your partner, challenge them. I want you to try doing this. I want you to go to the sex store with me and look at things. Like, that is your fucking partner. And if you're sitting there and shaming yourself because you feel bad that you're actually speaking your mind because your parents or your grandparents or your aunt and uncle, whoever the fuck it was that was your caretaker, fucking told you that you were a horrible person if you did anything sexual with your body, right?
And there's so many freaking games now, apps, card games, for if you're not sure. Again, like sometimes I'm not sure what to say, so we'll get like the card game or the app out, and like for prompting and get a conversation going. Sometimes it turns into an argument, but most of the time it's.
Sometimes it turns into an argument because you go on a date and this guy picks the wrong cards and it's talking about your trauma from your childhood, and we don't realize until it's like the sixth card, and I'm like, I don't think these are the right cards. And then I look, and lo and behold, he gets it from the fucking childhood past experiences,
I didn't
something,
know that was-
something.
I just
And then I look and there's another section that's like
was it love and intimacy?
love and
or something?
intimacy with your partner. And I was like, why did you not choose this one though? Like, why did you sit there and say, actually, let's talk about our past? That's what I want to do to get us hot and bothered.
Or become best friends first in a way.
But sometimes you have to laugh about those things, you know? And I guess, you know, in his mind, he's like, yeah, we can become best friends and look over these things. And it's like, nobody wants to talk about their trauma and be like, hey, babe.
No, I wasn't
let's
saying
get-
that. I was.
Oh, okay. I was like, first of all, let's talk about the elephant in the fucking room, right?
I'm just trying to say, become friends. Like, do something, sit on the couch and watch TV. Find some fucking hobby you can do
Yeah.
together. Exercise.
Yeah.
Go running.
Don't fucking, oh, let's go to the bar. Oh, let's go to the, which, you know, sometimes it is fun to go to the bar, especially if you don't go. Then you and your partner going can be super fun, right? Because you get like a sprinkle of what you used to be like. You're like, hey, look, this is fun. This is,
a sprinkle of just immaturity and no kids.
yeah. Yeah. Look, babe, look at me being immature.
Let's go skydiving.
Okay, we went from one extreme to another. I don't know. This is, you know, it's a guy. It's a guy. That's what guys do sometimes. It's fine. But for real, you have to keep it interesting. You have to sit there and really communicate. If you aren't feeling that bond, you have to fucking say it. But you also have to know that if he can't sit there or she can't sit there and talk about those things, and you can, then that's a good time to walk away. If they can't meet you halfway, there's nothing you can do about it. I say that to my kids even. Like, if you cannot meet me halfway, how the fuck can I help this situation in any way, shape, or form? But then it's like, oh, don't leave me. You don't fucking care. You're emotionally trauma bonding to me at this point, right? So it's actually knowing that you can leave a situation at any time. You can change the dynamic at any time in any way. And if you have that partner that is compatible with who you are, whatever it is, and you're not lying to yourself and acting like this bullshit version of yourself, then that bond is the most intimate, amazing feeling when all you do is just look in their eyes and it feels like, I don't want to say home because it's so cliche, but it does. It feels like,
I've been saying happy place, like from Happy Gilmore.
it's weird. It's weird when he says happy place because then you think of that lady in the lingerie.
I think of you in the lingerie with the beer.
With the white or the black lingerie.
Well, the black.
And if you haven't seen Happy Gilmore, you don't know what the fuck
I
you're
kind of
talking
like you, white and black. Let's go with white. And there's
You want me to have a zebra?
There's the midget on the unicorn. I mean, the midget on the tricycle too.
Am I the midget too?
I mean, no, you're a little taller.
We're going to talk about this later. I'm the midget.
No, you're not the midget. You're too tall, just barely.
That's what he looks like, right? And if you're listening to the podcast and you can't see me, you got to go on the YouTube and watch it because it's way better than listening to this podcast. Our expressions are just lock it in. Just saying.
You're
Anyway,
strong with the camera.
so
Looking at you.
it's like I do this for a living or something. It's weird. But, oh God. Let's wrap this up. Okay, so we're going to wrap it up. What I want to leave you with is that it's nothing to be ashamed of. And if you don't know exactly how you like to be pleasured, fucking play with yourself. Figure it out. There is no shame. You are literally torturing your own body because you refuse to accept that you have hormones.
Torching your partner too.
Yeah, you are. You're torturing your partner because you're like, you're not satisfying me. But you don't even explain it to them. You don't satisfy me. You don't make me hot and bothered. Because you're watching fucking Ryan Reynolds and you're like, why can't you be like him? Tell him. Fucking tell him.
Or tell her, why can't you be like
Right. Daenerys. What is her name? Daenerys Targaryen. See that? Look at that. Look at that hair.
again,
I'm just kidding.
working out together?
But
For it.
yeah. Yeah. You know, we work out together, build your endorphins, and it's the sexiest thing to watch that transformation in your partner as they work on themselves, right? We journal together with our kids. We have conversations together. We sit there and text message each other while we're both working, just to like tease each other, like send videos, send pictures. It is important to make sure that you don't just get comfortable in that relationship. Because the moment that you get comfortable in any relationship is the moment that you start feeling that void. And you start wondering and second guessing, did I make the wrong choice? Am I really happy? And sometimes, yes, it is the wrong choice. But how the fuck are you going to know if you don't actually try? Because the fact of the matter is that if you do break up with that person and you did have a good compatibility, you're going to be second guessing that for the next few years, decades even. I've met women in their 60s that didn't know what they wanted, that were still talking about relationships that they had in their 20s and in their 30s. And it was just amazing. And now the man they're with, he's a good guy and he's an honorable man. And I said, ew, are you fucking serious? Like, yeah, he can be honorable and good, but what the fuck? Like, why? Because you have to actually work? Teach each other. Teach each other how to pleasure each other, how to love each other, how to honor each other so that you can actually respect your partner. Is there anything you want to add to that?
No, let's wrap this up. We'll come back next time.
All right. We're going to wrap it up. Come back to it next time. Thank you for listening. I hope this was very insightful or, at least entertaining. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day and get real, get raw, and get the fuck over it. Let's make some changes. Let's make some waves. And you guys have a good rest of your day. Bye.
Peace.
Oh, God.